Welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we are here to talk about the newest and ninth movie to come from acclaimed director Quentin Tarantino. The movie story follows a famous actor, Rick Dalton, played by Leo DiCaprio, and his stunt double, Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, as they quest upon fortune and fame during the last years of the golden age of Hollywood in 1969. This wasn't the best Quentin Tarantino movie I've seen, but I had a blast watching it. Sure, it has its quirky humor and the witty banter, but that's what this movie really is. It's a comedy movie. It has some dark moments here and there, so you could almost say this is almost like a dark comedy, in fact, which in some sense is almost reminiscent to The Big Lebowski if you haven't seen it. If you haven't, you should really do so. It's a great movie as well. There is not much of a narrative, so to speak, so it's not your average movie where every scene has to have an integral point to add to the overall movie. There's a lot of nothing happening like what the show Seinfeld does. The runtime is 2 hours and 41 minutes. Yeah, it's a doozy. The first and third act of the movie is simply awesome, while the second act feels like a snooze fest and drags on really quite a bit. If you're a big fan of classic cinema, especially movies from the 60s, and just have a deep appreciation of film in general, I think you're really going to have a fun time. This movie is set within the Helter Skelter era as well, so you have Charles Manson and his band of Goonies in the background, lurking about in a muck. Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt both share a great chemistry together in this movie every time they are both on screen. This movie is really filled with an all-star studded cast list. You even have Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate. Even though I feel her character wasn't a necessary character, that doesn't add much to the overall story. Don't get me wrong, she did great in the role, but you still could have this movie without her character, really. Overall, it's a slow movie. It feels entertaining to watch. It's a chill and hangout movie, so to speak. It's one of those movies that you could almost have on in the background without fully completely watching it, and still enjoy it with some friends as you all riffing it apart. It's a really neat movie, so it's not very formulaic where the story has to be very compelling, but I assure you that after you see this movie, you can easily say that you enjoyed it. I give this movie an A-. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with my real reviews.